3, go. I'm Amalia.
And I'm Morgan. And welcome back to Ovals and Ovals.
Today we are going to talk about track season and give you tips and tricks for having a good season because we're both kicking off our track season this week. So,
yeah.
But first off, how have you been, Morgan?
Yeah, I've been all right. Still dealing with that IT band issue, but I ran 33 miles this week, and I biked. It's been a bit of a down week because of, I guess it's just been a bit of a down week, but I biked a bit. I swam once, which was actually a really humbling experience. I used to be on swim team, and then I was like, oh yeah, easy. I'll do like 5,000 yards. No, I did 3,000 yards, and it was like the hardest thing I've ever done.
Oh gosh.
But, and then like obviously just been on the bike, so, you know, on that cross-training grind, trying to stay mentally afloat. But how have you been?
I've been good. I've definitely had a little bit of a cold this past week. And yeah, yesterday I thought I was going to die on my run, but today I had a great 15-mile long run, which is nice. I did have to essentially drop out of my workout on Tuesday because I felt so terrible.
Which is okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a double threshold, so I just dropped out of the second workout today. Boo-hoo, I only had to do one workout. But, yeah, things are good.
If you didn't know, Amalia and I, like, our little tip and trick for getting sick is Zicam. Swear by that stuff. Amalia says that I've never done the nose stuff, but, like, the tablets, if you feel like you're getting sick at all, start popping those tablets, like, every 3 hours. Boom. I swear I fought off so many sicknesses with that stuff, so...
for sure.
That's like a little side note.
Violent diarrhea. But...
It does. And definitely, bro, my mom, like, I gave her one and she didn't know you had to, like, let it dissolve in your mouth. She swallowed it with water and she, like, threw up right away. So, like, sorry, Mom, if you're listening to this, don't want to call you out, but, like, if you take Zicam, make sure you dissolve it. Don't forget. Get like a pill.
They're yummy too. You don't want to miss out on the flavor.
Yeah, dude, the orange cream, bussin'.
Oh, so good.
My favorite.
So good.
So, anyways.
Anyway. All right.
Let's get into it. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna. Wait, what?
You want to kick off with the first question?
Yeah. We were gonna talk about our best 2 track seasons. We were gonna pick 2.
Yeah.
So, what have yours been?
Okay, I'll say one and then you can say one.
Okay.
And then we'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Probably my all-time best track season was... Oh my god, what even was that? 2023. Because that's when I started my TikTok and I started the BU meet. And yeah, that one was really good. I don't even remember. I trained really well over Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't trained that well over Christmas break, like, ever. And came back. I think we opened up with an indoor race in the bubble.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And at, like, 1,544 feet.
Yeah.
And, oh my god, and you had a terrible day.
Terrible? I remember that.
That was, like, a breakthrough race. Like, I was on up and up after that.
I think I, like, had a mental breakdown after that race, but, like, yeah, it seemed like a lot of people... It's because I'm, like, stupid, and I raced like an idiot, but...
You came back at the end of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that season was really good. I broke 5 converted for the first time. I converted to 451, I think. I almost made nationals in that. And then I ran 1651 in the 5K.
Oh, yeah.
Indoor. And then outdoor, I converted to 427 in the 1500. And yeah, outdoor I ran about 12 1500s and a 10K, so we just don't bring up the 10K, but other than that, it was a great season. So
yeah, you raced like so much that outdoor season. Like, I remember I was like, oh gosh, but I mean, everybody did who was like trying to qualify. It's because outdoor was in Pueblo, so like the 1500 was like super stacked that year.
I know, and I literally PR'd at the very last day possible meet, and I still didn't get in. I was like, oh my god.
That was like heartbreaking for a lot of people, I remember. Bad year to be a 1500 meter runner.
For real.
Kind of.
Anyway, what was your number one?
I was actually going to say probably that outdoor of 2023 also.
Yeah,
And like I wouldn't say indoor at all. Like I actually really struggled that indoor season, just like, but like on it. But that kind of like came through also in the outdoor season because like I feel like I came back from Christmas break kind of like down bad. Like my family was like going through some stuff and like I was like worried about that and like kind of felt guilty for being here and like it was just like a whole sequence of things. But then like that outdoor season, like I kind of decided like okay, I'm gonna use that it like to fuel me, you know. And so like I remember as soon as like I had this like mental switch during like we were doing like K repeats and I was like okay, I'm gonna do this one for like, you know, like this person and I'm gonna do this next one for this person and like it like literally fueled me. And then I was like oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that during races. And then all of a sudden like I started having this breakthrough and that's when I did really well at nationals also that outdoor season. Like I got 5th in the steeplechase and like I remember went to Brian Clay that year and like I tied my PR in the 5K after like the day after like running a qualifier in the steeplechase. So like I guess like those are like really like performance based like results, but like I think I don't know, like there was like it was just really good to come back after like kind of a bad indoor, especially because that race in the bubble started us off really good. I was also sick.
My goal going into that race, because I was like, okay, just stay with Morgan for this race. And then you went out like blazing.
It's because Steph paced us.
It was so fast.
It was way too fast, and I blew the frick up because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run like so fast today.
And I was like, stay as close to Morgan as possible. And then it was like the second lap, I like went around you, and I was like, I guess I can't be staying close to Morgan. Not today. Not
and then I went zoop all the way back. So
it's okay. You rallied for outdoors, so
yeah, it's fine. All right, what's your next best?
I don't know. I guess like in the grand scheme of things, it would technically be like my senior year track season.
Aww.
Just because the year before, like improvement wise, like I don't even know how I physically improved that much, but like the year before, I don't think I had broken 6 minutes at all in the mile. I think I'd run like 6:03. And then that year, by the end of outdoor track, my senior year, I ran 5:28 and 2:22 in the 800.
Those are huge improvements, seriously.
I know. I improved so much. And it's literally because I actually started training, which who would have thought actually running would help you get faster.
Don't go to summer camp. Run club or go to running camp instead.
Running camp, yeah. But yeah, it was really fun, and I think I also had like a boost of confidence because I had signed with Adams in like January or February, and I was like, oh, like I'm going somewhere so fast, like I should try to run as fast as I can. And it was really fun. Even I had a lot of injuries that spring because I was just like not eating enough, but it wasn't good. Once I started eating enough again, I started having a good season.
The fueling.
Yeah, but
it's always been a struggle.
That was probably my second best, like in looking back, improvement wise.
I love that. I love that. Like you can like look back in high school and still like, you know, like that was good. Like from.
I know. Not saying that like I don't have other good seasons, but that was.
Oh like, yeah, no, but it's like about perspective. You know, you're like I came from here and I like did this, so like that's really cool.
I definitely didn't peak in high school, but. What's yours?
I think my next one, I literally think maybe indoor last year, and like, I don't know, like, I like trained like a freaking maniac last indoor, like Christmas break after cross country, didn't take a break, started doing double thresholds and like, geez, like I don't know, I think also, like last cross country season was just like really bad for me, like for like so many reasons, and so then like. I learned a lot from that, and it's kind of the same as like the Pueblo one, you know, like I took things from that were like, okay, I'm gonna use this as like fuel, and I don't know, kind of like had a couple of breakthroughs. Like we went to Boston and like I PR'd in the 3K for like the first time in like 2 or 3 years or whatever, and then like the day after that, coach like put 2 DMRs together, and like I ran 4:40 on the mile leg of that, which was like huge for me because I was like, what the heck. And so, like, and then after that, like, even at nationals, like, we won the DMR, which was, like, super fun. And then, like, didn't do as well as I liked in the 3K, but still like kind of put myself in the race and went for it. So like I don't know, I think there was just like a lot of stuff that I was proud of, like for like just doing that season. So I think that was definitely a good one for me.
Yeah, you definitely balled out last indoor. So
yeah, and then outdoor happened.
It's okay.
We forget about that one, but yeah. So that was kind of yeah. Good times.
All right. What's your favorite track event and why?
Oh yeah. Okay. I genuinely, I can't. I used to say it was the 3K, and it still might be the 3K, just because, like, I think that's my sweet spot. Like, I don't think I'm as aerobic for, like, the 5K, but I don't think I'm, like, as strong in the speed stuff for, like, the mile. But I think the mile is just more fun. Like, genuinely. So, like, I think it might be the mile. Like, and there's, like, improvement to be done, but, yeah, for me, it's definitely the mile. 1,500, whatever.
I honestly think I have to agree. Mile, 1,500. It's just so fun, and it's long enough that, like, the longer distance girls can kind of ball out, but it's short enough that I'm not, like, having to think for a really long time.
Yes, exactly. It's like, by the time you're thinking about it, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm already halfway done.
And by the time I start thinking, I have, like, 400 to go, and I'm like, well, let's see how bad it can hurt.
No,
like,
literally, yeah.
I'm like, oh, another mile to go.
I can't do it,
like,
yeah. Like, 400 meters to go in a 3K seems so much longer than, like, 400 to go in a mile. Like, I don't know.
Literally.
Yeah, I definitely... Also, like, I think both me and you have just had, like, we've had a lot of bad miles, and we've had a lot of bad, like, other 5Ks and whatever, but, like, we've had the least amount of probably bad miles. Probably.
Yeah. Like,
if we were to percentage it.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've ever had a good 3K, so...
This is your year?
Yeah, we'll see.
Cool. Okay. Let's do some do's and don'ts for a good track season.
Three things not to do if you want to have a good track season.
Yeah. Okay.
You kick it off. What's the number one do not do?
The first one I said was, we talked about this a little bit last time, but calculating splits. Like, either before the race or even during the race. This happens to me all the time during the 5K. Like, I will just start, like, I'll do the math. I'll start doing the math. I'm like, okay, I'm on pace for this. I'm on pace for this. And it's like, you stupid idiot, like, just get in the race, you know? So, like,
yeah.
And then, like, even before the race, if I'm like, okay, I have to run this fast, like, I start to psych myself out a little bit. So, which I literally did this last night. I was like, how close to it? So, but don't do that. It's really bad.
So bad.
But
that's so real. That's a good one. Mine is, I didn't think these out. You're better than me. I didn't think of these in advance.
It's okay.
Probably to, oh my gosh. I'll go with what, like, don't under fuel. I feel like a lot of people get to track and they're like, oh, I'm running a shorter distance than I was in cross country. Like, I don't need to eat as much. Or, like, I mean, I've even fallen into this, like, way back in the day. Like, oh, I'm only running a mile. Like, I don't need to fuel as much. Like, it's less than a 5K or a 6K. And,
yeah, it's so
like,
bad.
I don't need to, like, eat as much. Or, I don't know. Like, sometimes, like, yeah, like, track season, you might be running a little less. So, just keep fueling as much as you would.
Yeah.
Any race distance. Otherwise, you're just gonna get injured.
Like, here's the thing. Like, before you run, fuel. After you run, get some food in, you know? Like, it's the same principle. Like, I think, like, when you think more about that stuff, like, there's just, like, so much, like, you just screw up, you know? So.
Yeah. And, like, it's like I got back from my long run today, and I was like, I need to take a shower. But I was like, I need to eat something first. And I literally ate, like, half of a chocolate bar.
It's fire.
I was like, I just need something so I'm not, like, under recovering and under fueling. And
that
I don't
is,
really
like,
care
so great.
Yeah, like, the best, like, advice I ever heard from, like, a literal professional nutritionist is, like, most important is to fuel enough. Whether that's, like, 3,000 calories of Oreos a day, that's not ideal, but it's better than eating
nothing. Like, ice cubes.
800 calories of, like, lettuce a day.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
So,
yeah, like, I say that all the time. I'm like, listen, there's definitely parts of my diet that I could, like, you eat way healthier than I do, But, like, at the same time, I'm like, okay, I think it's better that I eat what I want versus, like, deprive myself and, like, then miss out on calories that I need. Because, like,
Yeah.
truthfully, every time I've, like, skimped out on, like, food or, like, try to get down to race weight or something, which is just, like, I don't know, not
It's
good.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not a thing.
like, I'll just, like, run slower, So, and I just feel so weak. And
Yeah.
it's so easy to fall into that trap, but yeah, definitely that's a good one to touch on for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, my next one would be kind of going along with the, looking at splits and stuff, but comparing yourself on heat sheets. And we literally talked about this last time too, but like like I swear I'm such a head case when I start doing that. Like the heat sheets for nationals will come out and like it'll be like for the prelim, or even I did this for conference too. And I look at it and I'll start being like, I'm not as good as her, I'm not as good as her, I'm not, and then like I start doubting myself. So it's like maybe it just like don't do things that are going to make you doubt yourself before the race even starts, because anything can happen. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my second one, I guess, but
Definitely agree. Mine kind of feeds into that. Like, don't compare yourself and your training to other people.
Strava.
Like nowadays, there's so much like there's Strava and there's like Garmin and I don't know all the others. Like, I mean, even like Instagram or
like
TikTok.
even like the rings, like the Aura rings and stuff, like
Yeah. So first of all, don't fall into the trap of like over analyzing all your training.
yeah,
Like,
that's
do
good.
your training. Sometimes you're gonna have a shitty run. You just need to get on with it. Like, don't over analyze it, and then don't compare your training to other people because you're not them and they're not you, and you're not trying to run their PR. You're trying to run your PR.
Yeah.
So, like, literally just run within yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people's training.
Yeah,
Because-
that was literally my last one. Was like just run. Well, not exactly that, but like just like run within yourself. Like genuinely, like that's like actually probably the best piece of advice that I could give to anybody right now. Like with just like what I've experienced and where I'm at, like holy cow, like what a difference that makes, and like even like your workouts. I could go on and on about this, but like workouts do not correlate exactly to how races will go. I kid you not. Like, I work out so much slower than so many other people, and then once it gets to the race, like, somehow I do just as good, if not better, and it's like, I don't know, like, you really have to find what works for you and, like, kind of analyze where you're at each day. Like, if you're tired, it's okay to cut the run 5 minutes short, and it's okay to slow down. Like, it's okay to run your easy run at 9-minute pace, and then, like, if it's, like, a long run, like, say you ripped a long run, okay, the next day, like, adjust your training, it doesn't have to be like so by the book. So
yeah, definitely agree. That one's really important. We've both benefited from that
a lot,
like
I think.
Yeah. And then I guess my last one would be like, don't put so much pressure on yourself. It's just track. It, like, maybe it seems really important, and it is really important, and like, don't get me wrong, like, me and you like love the sport and we put a lot of our time and effort into improving. But at the end of the day, you need to remember that you are more than a runner. And if you don't think you are more than a runner, you need to wrestle with that thought in your head. Because that's not true. And just kind of put it behind you. Because if you just keep thinking about it and, like, stressing about it, it's just going to mess up the rest of your season. And then you're just going to be sad and miserable. So
that is actually so true. Watch a movie. If you don't have hobbies, watch a movie. I don't know. It's good for you.
Do something. Literally anything. Juggle. I don't care.
Start drawing. Color. Our friend Raina's just been like coloring, do something.
Literally anything. Just do something other than running.
Yeah, that's good. I like that one a lot.
Now to be a little bit more positive, we can do our top tips for a good track season. So things you should be doing.
Yeah, some do's. Those are the don'ts. Here are the do's. Drink a Red Bull. I'm just kidding.
All right, you gotta go first.
Sure, yeah. So my first one was, like, do your strides. And Andrew's brother, like, will touch on this all the time. He's like, do your strides. But it is actually so true. And, like we do them, like, either the day before a workout, to, like, just kind of, like, prime your body for the next day. But also, speed is so important. And, like, your strides are, like, supposed to help you feel like, more smooth. Like, you're supposed to, the goal is to get more smooth, like, running fast, right? And so, like,
Yeah.
do your strides, but do your strides with, like, a lot of rest in between. That's what I've learned. So that's my first one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Frick, I did not think these through.
Unprepared.
Do you believe in your coach or your training? Something that, like, I've always really tried to make myself believe, even when I, like, had a horrible coach in high school, like, literally the worst coach, like, probably on the face of this earth.
No hate, but, like...
It's my senior year, all right? I don't want to get things confused. He was the best coach ever. But the one prior to that was actually terrible. But you need to believe in your training, even if you have the most terrible coach and they don't know what they're doing. Like, believing in a semi-decent coach and their training is better than not believing in it, because then you're just going to be doubting yourself. You're going to be doubting your ability, doubting your training, and you're going to get to the race and not be confident. So
it does nobody any good if you just are doubting, like, all the time.
Just trust your training.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Having 3 different coaches, like, have one and trust them.
Like, at the end of the day, running's running, you know? Anything can happen on race day, so, like...
Yeah, literally.
The haze in the barn, that's good. I like that a lot. Doesn't matter where you came from. Okay, my next one is watching the race that you're in. So, like, this is honestly more... Yeah, it's definitely, like, race day specific, but, like, when you're in the race, like, watch the leaders. Like, watch the next pack and, like, be ready to make moves, you know? So, like... because I think that's what happens a lot of the time is, like, you're watching the clock, you're watching this, you're watching that, you're not watching the actual race, and so then you get, like, lost in a bunch of, you know, random stuff. And so I think really just, like, being in the zone, being focused, and, like, being able to make a move when you need to, like, is gonna help you get the best outcome on that day. So
yeah, I definitely agree with that one. That one's, like, life-changing, actually.
For real. Changes how you race.
For real. My second one, I literally just had it. What the frick? Oh my gosh. I can't remember. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay, well, my other one was going to be to make sure you're recovering enough. Maybe the other magic one will come to me. But, like, whether that's taking a rest day every week, or sleeping enough, or elevating your legs, or cross-training a day, like, listen to your body and make sure you're recovering enough, because it's easy to just hammer, and you got to be recovering and kind of be kind to your body. So,
yeah, that's
recover.
Good. That goes along with, like, getting enough fuel also.
Mm-hmm.
Recovering and fueling go very hand in hand, so
yeah,
it's always important. Okay, my last one is we kind of already touched a little bit on this, but, like, do some self-care, like, you know, if, like, you journal, or like for me, like, I read my Bible every morning before I, like, start my day, and that, like, gets me in the right headspace. Like, I think people, like, everybody needs something to kind of, like, you know, get your head in the right space. So I think that is definitely a must do. Yeah.
And I remembered my last one, so here we go.
Slay.
Do experiment with your racing style, especially if you're a younger runner. Like, don't be afraid to not always, if you always think that you're a kicker, maybe you're not. Maybe you need to experiment with going out in the lead, or vice versa. Maybe stop going out in the lead and go out in the back and see if you're a kicker, or go in the middle of the pack. Trying out different race techniques, because then you can combine them all and see what works for you or what doesn't work, especially as a younger athlete. Like, you're not one type of racer when you're a senior in high school.
For sure.
So
yeah.
Like, experiment.
That's a really good one. Our next topic we were going to talk about was
top tip each for pre-meet race day nerves.
Oh, right.
We only have 2 minutes left.
I know, so we should do this one, and then we should do the funny stories after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
All right. You go first with the tip.
Okay. My tip for pre-race nerves is kind of, like, maybe easier to say than do, but I try to harness them in kind of a positive way. Like, I love when I start getting nervous before a race. I'm like, this is extra energy to, like,
literally
boost me the first bit of the race, and, like, the more nervous I am, the less I'm gonna feel in the race.
That is true, though.
Yeah, like
Nerves
I
mean you
love
care also.
yeah, and like my body knows that I'm nervous. Like I'm pooping 10 times before my race. Like I'm
You
clearly
know it's
nervous.
gonna be a good day when you're pissing like a racehorse and you're pooping like a
Yeah,
million
and I won't
times.
shut the hell up like
Yeah.
on the starting line. Like I won't stop talking
Yeah.
because I'm so nervous and like my hands are shaking. Like
Yeah.
I just get so nervous, and I can see how people use that, like that gives them anxiety. But I've like learned to readjust my mindset with it and kind of just it's kind of fun. If I'm not nervous before a race, I'm like, oh,
I know. It means
something-
you've really yeah.
So nerves are good.
For
nerves
sure.
are so good.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. That's a really good one. Okay, so for me, I actually learned this like this is actually so embarrassing. I learned this in therapy, but because like I've had like history with just like having like panic attacks and stuff, but like literally like looking at the lights or looking at something and like having it help you realize like, okay, I'm grateful to be here. Like, how did I get here? You know, like even if it's like we go to Boston, it's like, okay, if I'm like super nervous before, like I'm gonna look at something, it's gonna like bring me back, and then like I'm gonna be like, okay, how did I get here? Like I'm like so grateful to have this opportunity, and so like kind of like just like putting your thoughts somewhere else besides like, oh my gosh, this is so scary, this is gonna hurt so bad, like really using it as like a positive thing. So that's kind of how I deal with it. But it's worked really well.
What's worse is the post-race panic attack.
Yeah.
No one talks about that. Oh my gosh. I thought I was having an active heart attack after races.
The shakes in the van.
Oh my god. Why does nobody bring that? Maybe it's just me and you.
Yeah, facts, but like...
But like, there's been times like I genuinely think I'm not okay.
Take me to the hospital, like, I can't breathe. Like, I'm shaking so bad, yeah.
I'm shivering? Like...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Those are way worse than pre-race nerves.
Facts. Biggest facts. That, yeah. I hope nobody else experiences that, seriously, because that's terrible.
We can go into that maybe next time, because that's a whole other story.
Facts, yeah. The anxiety part of running, but...
Yeah, that was good. Okay.
Okay,
let's talk now with our funniest track story each.
Okay. Oh gosh. You go first, because...
Rick, I need to think for a second. Oh my gosh. Do you have one in your head?
I have like a couple of like funny little stories. I'll go. Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, it's fine. The first one was like this I just brought to my head, like in California last year when I was running the steeplechase, and this girl like cut right in front of me before the first water jump. I kid you not, both hands on the barrier, climbed on top of the barrier, and like cannonballed into the water pit. Like, Amalie, I remember, like, after that race, sent a Snapchat in, like, our group chat, and she was like, Morgan literally clambered onto the barrier and, like, you know...
Bro, you did. You just, like, it looked like a pool. Like, you were at the pool.
Yeah, so that was literally a classic. And then, like, the other one was, like, shout out Reina. When Reina raced the 5K at conference in Pueblo, and it was so hot. And she literally, like, and coach had to, like, scoop her off the rack and carry her. And I, like, was crying because I thought she was gonna die. Like...
I remember... Oh, my gosh. That one was really funny.
Yeah, so those are my two, like, funniest ones, I think.
That's a classic. I think maybe one of my... This is kind of sad looking back. These are both at Brian Clay. So the first one is I ran the 10K. It was terrible. I finished. And I'm, like, sobbing my eyes out. Like, this is sad, but, like, I didn't run that terribly, but I sucked. And I remember going up to coach and, like, just bawling my eyes. And it was kind of cold and rainy. And, he was staring at me while I'm sobbing. And, like, booger bubbles that were, like, literally the size of my cheek were, like, blowing out of my nostrils. Because I was, like, literally crying so hard and it was so cold. And he was, like, he literally... grabbed my shoulder and was like, how about we talk about this tomorrow? Because he was probably like, this girl like can't see, she has boogers all over her face.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I can just like picture that, like coach just being like, I don't know what to do right now, like
that is so fair, like
right, yeah, like fair enough, like that's just like classic, seriously.
I didn't understand what I was saying, but that was a funny one looking back. And then also last year, Brian Clay before the 1500 in the pouring rain.
Oh gosh, that was miserable.
It was pouring so hard. I don't know where other teams were. Probably they had a tent. You know, we don't ever have a tent. D2 things. But we opened up the Azusa Pacific trailer shed with
oh my gosh, yes.
And we were like, there was like 10 of us huddled.
It was so cold.
Yeah, we were like sitting on like cones and.
Oh yeah, that was classic.
I was like, oh my gosh, like if anyone opens up this literal trailer, it looks like we're like being stored in here.
We're like camping, like we're like homeless people camping out in their trailer, their track shed.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is so. Of course, it was us.
Oh, but that actually was so miserable though. Like that whole night, I remember like convincing Coach Duncan to take us to get donuts after that. Like, I don't know if you were in that van, but that was a miserable night.
No, I don't. It was, yeah. I have probably funnier stories, but those two were the first that came to mind.
Yeah, those are good. Those are really good. But cool.
Yeah.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, that's it for now. So tune in next week, same time, same place.
Seriously. Comment down below what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
We'll have some updates on how our season openers went.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared. What are you racing?
3K.
Okay, me too. Slay.
Oh, you're running 3K?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just like hit a qualifier in the bubble.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Good
but
luck.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see how the cross training suits us. But
yeah, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, we'll both be fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
All right. Well,
it's been fun.
For sure. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Same time, same place.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye.